Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to News in Motion. I am Deborah Johnson, and I am sitting in for Gail Dudley today. News in Motion is a grassroots aggregated news outlet sharing relevant commentary with an inspirational message and a call to action. Our News in Motion family is joining us live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So good morning, News in Motion family. It's good to see everybody here today. And let me tell you, I have major respect for our sister Gail and all she does to bring this broadcast to life. It's real good to be on. Good morning, Sardinia. And good morning, Regina. Hey, Sister Antoinette. Adrian and Lori Wallace, it's really good to see you coming in. As everyone's coming in, I'd love for you to just put in the chat what you did this weekend. How was your weekend this weekend? Hey, John Gore, I'm doing it for our sister Gail this morning. Hey, Marion Jackson, it's good to see everyone coming in the room. We have an amazing broadcast today. For many of you know that this is not only Mental Health Month, but it's National Stroke Awareness Month. And we have a guest, oh my goodness, a guest that's been through it, survived, and is here to tell the story. Hey, Patricia Lyles. Hey, Diane Ladybug. Please push the share button. If you know someone who has had a stroke, someone who's recovering from one right now, someone who's caring for someone with a stroke, they do not want to miss this show. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Just talking about that journey. So put in the chat, let us know how you did this weekend. Oh, Sister Antoinette is a stroke survivor. So you'll get it. You'll understand this whole journey that our guest has been on. Please let people know that this is on. Hey, Rosanna Vivens, it's good to see you on today. It is wonderful to have you on here on our show. Sister Fran, good to see you. Jeffrey Allen James. Boy, our whole News in Motion family is here today, and we have got an amazing show going on. So we just want to get people here in the room because we don't want anyone to miss what's going on today. We got so much news, and we're just going to have an abbreviated form today because we've got a couple of things going on here on the show, and we don't want to miss any bit of it. Good morning, Hester. How you doing this morning? So why don't we just get this started so we can get with it? You know what? I love that music. Every time that music comes on, I want to dance. But there's just a couple of things going on that I want to share that I think is just newsworthy this morning. We don't want to miss it. For months and months and months, and actually over 2 years, we've been talking about the COVID-19 virus. But now there's another virus on the horizon. It's not new, but it's new because it's not been seen much outside of Central Africa and West Africa. And that is the monkey virus. Since May 13th, more than 100 confirmed cases of monkeypox have been reported in 12 countries, unfortunately, including the United States. Now, CNN reports and the World Health Organization confirms that there are 1 to 5 cases in the United States. I'm not sure I understand that 1 to 5. I don't know if it's just 1 or it's up to 5. Maybe it means they're looking at it to determine whether it's at least 5 cases in the United States right now. The virus doesn't spread rapidly as COVID-19, and there is a vaccine and a protocol. There's a vaccine and a protocol that can help take care of it, but you need to be aware. It can develop after exposure to broken skin, mucous membranes, respiratory droplets, infected body fluids, and even contact with contaminated linen. According to Neil Mabot, personal chair in immunopathology at Veterinary School of the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. The news is that there is a vaccine and a treatment protocol already in place. And what you need to be aware of, hopefully we will never see this, but initial symptoms include a fever, a headache, swelling, back pain, aching muscles, and then it breaks out, kind of like smallpox and chickenpox, in a rash on your body. They seem to have it under control, and they're looking at it and following it, but we just want to make sure that people are aware of it. But on to something a little more light. I mean, I definitely wanted to report that. Children with a strong family connection are associated with a high likelihood of flourishing in life, a new study has found. So numerous studies have shown that strong family bonds lower the chance of poor outcomes in children. Kind of makes sense, right? They find out that behaviors such as drug abuse, other risky behaviors have been revealed with other risky behaviors have been curtailed and actually done away with when children are exposed to a close connection with their family. This has been done by a study of over 3,700 children in 26 countries. What they're finding out is things that most of us have probably thought about, but never really think a lot about. Something as simple as having dinner with your child every day, going on errands with them, sitting down and just watching the world go by with them makes all the difference in them having better outcomes in life. You don't have to do big things like expensive trips or having to spend a lot of money on expensive gifts. Just spending some time every day. Why not start at dinner today, spending some time with your children? And speaking of children, according to NBC News, the first flight of baby formula from Europe arrived in Indiana on Sunday as the White House tries to address a crushing shortage on baby formula. Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack greeted the arrival of a military aircraft carrying about 78,000 pounds of formula flown in from Germany in what the government has been dubbed Operation Fly Formula. President Joe Biden authorized the program to import formula from abroad last week. Unfortunately, this shipment only contains specialized formula for children with allergies who can't take regular formula. And there's enough to provide about 9,000, provide for about 9,000 babies and 18,000 toddlers for 1 week. More flights are expected in the coming days, but we're just praying that they'll get on the shelf. We're still asking everyone, if you don't have a child, but you're in the store and you see baby formula, pick up a can or two, pass it on to someone who does. Let people know through your social media that you have it. If you can't get it then, at least let them know what store it is. I've been hearing that it's flying off the shelves. It comes in kind of like the toilet paper, and before you know it, it's out. But we just want to make sure that babies are cared for and things are being taken care of with them. We've got such a busy show today. That's all of the news we're going to cover today, except that we got to hear sports news from our dear brother Kenny Stanley with Game Over.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing? What's going on, peeps? News amongst your family. Good morning. Hey, the NBA is living up to the hype. At least in the East it is. Saturday, after being up 26 points, the Miami Heat had to hold on as Boston came back, got it within 1 point, and Miami Heat had to hold on to end up winning by 6, 109 to 103. But it was a heck of a game. It's living up to the hype. I got a feeling this one's going to go all 7. Miami Heat, they was led by Bam Adebayo. He had 31 points and 10 rebounds. But they really did have to hold on. Boston is no joke. But if Jason Tatum don't get going, Boston gonna get ran out the gym. As Jason Tatum goes, Boston goes. So they need Jason Tatum to step up. In the West, it looks like Golden State is getting ready to sweep the Dallas Mavericks. As they won yesterday, they took a 3-0 series lead, 109-100. Steph Curry had 31 points, and he was backed up by Andrew Wiggins, who had 27 points. Will Dallas mount a comeback? I doubt it. Dallas is getting ready to go fishing. They're going home. It's over with. In soccer news, it's been a long time coming. Matter of fact, it should have been done. But the U.S. men's and the U.S. women's have ratified a collective bargaining agreement, and there will be equal pay across the board. In my opinion, women should have been getting paid in the first place because it's the U.S. women who put soccer on the map. The men can't seem to put a team together to get out of the first round of any tournament they're in. And the women has been taking a back seat, even though they're winning everything going. This agreement starts on June 1st, and it will go all the way. It will last up until 2028. In the world of golf, Justin Thomas came from behind, forced the playoff in the PGA Championship, and won after shooting a 67. He forced the playoff. He birdied 2 of the holes, parred the last one, and that did it. Justin Thomas is the winner. In other golf PGA Championship news, Tiger Woods withdrew after shooting a 79 on Saturday in the 3rd round. He's trying to get himself back into golf shape after almost losing a leg after a near fatal car crash just over a year ago. Do I believe Tiger's going to win again? Yes, I do. But he just got to get back in golf shape, and that's what he's doing now. So just be on the lookout for Tiger. Keep pulling for him, and that'll be it. Now let's get back to Deborah with more news. Thank you, everybody. Game over.
Thank you so much, Kenny.
No problem.
It gets better and better every week. We're loving hearing about it. Pretty soon, we're going to see you on the national scene, Kenny.
I hope so.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I hope so.
You keep bringing it home. We love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.
All righty. Well, as I said earlier in the broadcast, this is National Stroke Awareness Month. And today we have an amazing guest. But first, I just want to give you just a couple of statistics. If you don't already know, there's some people on this broadcast that know absolutely about this, that in 2020, 1 in 6 deaths from cardiovascular disease was due to strokes. Every year, more than 795,000 people in the United States have a stroke. That's about nearly 1 in 4 people who've had a previous stroke actually have another stroke. Okay. About 87% of all strokes are what's called ischemic strokes, in which the blood flow to the brain is blocked in some way. Stroke is the leading cause of death for Americans, but the risk of having a stroke varies with race and ethnicity. Risk of having a first stroke is nearly twice as high for blacks than for whites. And blacks have the highest rate of deaths due to stroke. Though stroke death rates have declined over the decades, we've seen an increase with Hispanics having death rates. The death rates for Hispanics have been going up steadily since 2013. Our guest today is coming on because the one thing that we understand about strokes is they do not discriminate. This person is my very, very dear friend. I spent a lot of time working with him with plans for our foundation. And one day he didn't show up for a meeting. And I didn't understand that. The man who was always on time didn't show up. And then later on, he didn't show up for another meeting, a real important meeting. And I started to get concerned. I just happened to be having dinner with Gail, and I told her I couldn't breathe. I just couldn't breathe. There was something wrong with my friend. And I needed to stop right then in the middle of dinner and call somebody. I called a friend who went to James's house and found him on the floor. And he had been there over 20 hours. James Thornton is my friend. He's a stroke survivor advocate, mentor, and now James is an author. On June 5th of 2018, he suffered a massive stroke. He was found on his floor and he had been there more than 20 hours. And James there's three types of aphasia, but James has global aphasia. And so writing for him is truly a gift. When he had that stroke, they told him he'd probably be a vegetable. He would not be able to write, talk, walk. Honestly, they didn't think he'd be able to do anything. And this was so different from James's previous life. He's a former college football player who pursued a professional career. He became an executive with various firms, including the NFL. He has the distinction of taking Princess Di and her two sons to their only NFL game. He's a global citizen who has lived and worked in over 15 countries. He was on the go all the time as an executive and as a speaker. He has always had lots of questions about God and life. And then when this happened, he had to slow down. Even though his body was in great shape, his brain was not. James has written a book called Step by Step, which is a collection of short writings telling about his journey. We want to welcome James in today as he shares a bit of his story about how he is making this miraculous recovery back from a stroke.
Hi there, audience. How are you today?
Hey, James, how are you? It is so good to see you. You know what? I want the audience to know, because we talked about it a little bit, that although you're making a step-by-step recovery from your stroke, you were not able to have the TPA, the tissue plasminogen activator, that if you get it within the first 3 hours, could have had like a dramatic, you could have had a dramatic return quicker if you had gotten there sooner. But I'm just wanting to know, after 4 years of reflection on this stroke, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from having a stroke?
Well, first of all, that I'm alive.
Amen.
Because the doctors and my neurologist told my now wife and friends that they couldn't do anything. And so just to be alive again is a blessing for me, and I look at that. But I suffered my stroke, and it forced me to slow down. Mm-hmm. After being on the go, like you said. And while I'm told I was in great shape, my brain was not. Mm-hmm. And so I just, I had to realize that through my near-death experience, which I write about, I have a grace and mercy now for others that I didn't have before.
Amen.
Because it's always great to look at things from our perspective, but when you can look at things from the other person's perspective first, mm-hmm. that helps you both. And that's what I do now.
That's powerful. That's absolutely powerful, James, that now your lens has changed and you're able to see life through a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what has been the hardest part of your recovery? I mean, having to learn to walk and talk and do things. What's the hardest part?
Well, it's the global aphasia, but I don't, I don't really think about why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get on with life now. Yeah. And what I know is that a stroke has taught me how to be able to communicate again with the world after being silent for so long, and how others, while they're finding their voice, need an advocate. And whether it's another person who is our caregivers or a friend, we need that partnership to get through life now. You know?
Yeah.
And I go through it every day. Yeah. So when I tell myself that, I am struggling, I just say to myself, there's always someone else worse off than me in the world. And I just got to get back on my bike and move on.
That's what I love about you, James. You have such an amazing attitude with something that has just altered your lifestyle so dramatically. You just have a joy and you just have a way of living your life that's so authentic. That's just that step by step trusting God. And I just love watching it. What do you want people listening to this broadcast to know about surviving a stroke?
First, we're all the same. And it doesn't matter our religion, culture, or race, because we all bleed red. And we experience all the same things too, just in different packages.
Yeah.
And we all are a survivor of something in life. Yeah. If we really think about it. I had a stroke, and I always ask people, what's your disability? Right? Because we all have something wrong with us. Right.
Right.
So it's when you can embrace who you are and focus, you will see that, it's going to be bad sometimes, but there's a lot of things about life that's beautiful. Yeah. But you have to slow down first and as they say, smell the roses or the coffee, right?
Right. For me, it's coffee.
Yeah. So that, I mean, you know, and there for me, I want to leave people with an encouraging word,
Mhm.
and it's this: you have the chance to make something happen today by just only sharing a smile with someone that doesn't look like you. Because we never know what that person's going through, and that could be all they need.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they smile back or not, because as individuals, it's our choice to show them, you know, our smile.
I love that. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Just sharing a smile, even if we don't get it back. I think that's the ultimate. Even if we don't get it back,
Yeah.
just keep doing good in the world. James, we just want to thank you so much. We know that this was not easy for you to get up. I know you're up early, but it's not easy for you to put this all together and to just come as you are and share with the world where you are so far. You know, I've watched you write a book, you know, on your cell phone in little snippets in your own way that you do things. We want to give special thanks to John Shoger and Felicity Fox, who helped you with this journey back to finding your genuine voice, you know, post-stroke. They've captured this miraculous journey that you've written in your own voice in the book Step by Step. And so this book is coming out when? Is it next month?
Yeah, I got it here because this is the author copy, but you'll be able to purchase it next month, which is in a week. So be on the lookout for it, or just text. No, not text me. Email me, and I will tell you when it launches.
And James is an amazing advocate. If you know someone who's really dealing with something with a stroke, reach out to James at jthundar@gmail.com. He has an amazing story. He's not shy about sharing it. I've seen him be patient and still meeting with young people and other people, still managing his coaching business, you know, step by step with the Lord's help. James, thank you. Thank you for sharing that powerful journey. We look forward to having you back when, you know, the book comes out. We're excited about hearing all about it. You've just done some amazing stuff, and we can't thank you enough for coming on the show today.
Thank you all, in the studio and in the audience for having me today, and I have enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. You know, as we just end our show today, I just have a short inspirational message that just falls in line with the message that James shared today. And that's step by step, trust God. And if you look at Psalms 18:36, and I'm reading from the Message version, David is talking to God and he says, "You cleared the ground under me, so my footing was firm." You know, life is full of twists and turns. You know, one minute everything's going well, just like James. You're ready to go out and conquer the world. And the next moment, the bottom can drop out under you. It may be, you know, a phone call that doesn't come that you're looking for. It may be the phone call that you get that turns your world upside down. It may be something you've been grappling with for a long time and you just are trying to walk it out. What I can tell you is, if you look at the example of King David, and way before he was King David, and he was just a shepherd boy, he went from tending sheep, step by step, just trusting God, doing this small job, to fighting a giant, to running from Saul, to running for his very life, hiding in caves. But step by step, he trusted God, and God gave him firm footing. He showed him the way to go. I want you to trust your life. I just encourage you to trust your life with God. Step by step, he will give you firm footing for what's ahead of you today. Even today, we don't know what we're going to deal with. But what I do know is, one step at a time, when you're trusting God, he'll put you on firm ground so you'll be in good shape. One day at a time, step by step, no matter what you're dealing with. It's National Stroke Awareness Month. Take care of your body. Step by step, you can get the health that you want. Step by step, you can do the things that are on your mind to do. And today, step by step, make it a great day and enjoy the rest of the week. See you tomorrow at 7:25.